Hi, all. Ben here. Hope you're well. Um, Wanted to get you this quick video as a bit of an introduction to the ABL mentoring process. There is some homework for you to do before we head into the sessions next week, and that I want to tell you about now. I am going to get you a mentoring workbook to work through. What we want you to do is we want you to come prepared to the mentoring relationship, knowing what you would like to get out of it. So, to do that, there's a couple of activities that I would like you to do prior to the meetings next week. First of all, the structure. On For the Southern group, we've got a meeting on Monday and Wednesday. For the Northern groups, Tuesday and Thursday. So those Monday and Tuesday sessions are preparation sessions. So the work you're doing before then will be something that we'd like you to share at these sessions. This will just be the people in your cohort and myself, and an opportunity to work through the details you got in your workbook, to check it against others, and to get some feedback from others in the room. You need to have done some work before coming to this session. If you don't do the work, it'll be a bit awkward. Okay. The Wednesday and Thursday sessions, I'll explain a little bit more next week. However, you are going to meet a bunch of potential mentors on either Wednesday, if you're Southern group, or Thursday, if you're in the Northern group. You will be interviewing them, and your job is to understand which of the mentors will be able to help you to assist you with the goals that you have. Now, the goals that you have, what are those goals? Well, this is where the workbook comes in, and the work beforehand. So there's some things I'd really like you to do before you come to the session next week. Have a go at the workbook. I'll outlay it in the email, but I think it's the first 14 pages or something. I will confirm that. And a few activities as part of that are really important. The first thing is, I'd like you to get a blank sheet of paper, and I'd like you to draw, which sounds like a crazy thing to do. But actually doing something creative actually unlocks parts of our brains where, if we're thinking completely logically, which is what the rest of this process looks like, you're unable to tap. And I want you to put on this piece of paper the 3 words, and they are my preferred future. My preferred future. And what I want you to do is I want you to draw what that preferred future could look like. For some of you, this preferred future may be a number of different smaller pictures into one. Or for some, it may be just one beautiful landscape of something. We've done this in the past with people, and some people have been able to draw a picture of the paddock in front of the farm, off the veranda, being able to see kids playing, riding motorbikes, whatever it is, on horseback, whatever it is. And for others, it's been a number of different activities. But I want you to think about, what do you want your preferred future to look like? And I thought, to help with that, I might share with you a version of mine. Let me share this with you right now. What you're seeing here is a rough version of my preferred future. So let me take you through this. On the top left-hand side here, you see a great picture of me and my wife, Danny. And from there, we've got our kids. Now, they're a little bit older now than when I first drew this. So they're now 19 and 15. But, in the future, we hope that they find a partner and potentially have kids, because we'd love to have grandkids in our preferred future. Right next to us, assume there's going to be a bookcase. I love reading. There's going to be books in my future. Potentially 1 or 2 with my name as an author. That's part of my preferred future, and something that I would really like to do. There's also a stereo, a guitar, because music's a huge part of my future. I would love to be playing music in a continual, ongoing basis. And a weird picture of an angry-looking dog that will be with us as well. So animals, books, music's going to be part of my future, and would love for that to be a significant part of how I spend my time post my retirement. Over here, it looks like we've got a whiteboard, but it's actually a window overlooking a beach. A surfer out there. That's not me. I can't surf. But, we'd love to be able to move to the beach in our retirement. So that's something that we're working towards as part of our life now. So that's part of my preferred future. The other aspects of it is this, that I don't want to become a pilot, but I certainly want to be able to travel and travel abroad and see more of the world. And although we've done some of this, some areas we'd like to go back to and explore, potentially more time in New York, and that's meant to be the Golden Gate Bridge, which I really enjoy, San Francisco as well. So we'd love to do that, as well as parts of Europe and Asia. The other aspect of our future, and I'm thinking about this on behalf of my wife and I, is to think about how we make money. And so part of that is to look at, on the right here, an investment portfolio, which is something we're doing at the moment. And so we see this as part of our future, managing properties and making that work for us financially. The other aspect is running our own business. And part of that looks like it's now open. There's an opportunity for it to grow. And then who knows what the future looks like for that, either sold or does something in the future. But we like to see that there is some passive income happening as part of our future. So working towards that. Stop sharing. And so thinking about that, I'm able to start to think about, if they're my preferred future, what are the sort of the skills, knowledge, and information base or networks I know I need to have or gain in order to be able to successfully do those things. So I might be connecting with somebody who has a real estate portfolio. It might be somebody who's already involved with business. It might be connecting with people internationally around work opportunities as well. So there's some of the things I want you to think about. That is step one. Put together my preferred future. And I would love for you, when we meet up on either Monday or Tuesday, to share that with others in the group. Again, give it a go. Try not to use words. Try to use drawing. Nobody's going to judge you based on what you draw, nor judge you on the content as well. But give this a go, because it'll unlock something in your brain creatively that's really important for this process. Then we move on to the workbook. And it's pretty well laid out and should be reasonably straightforward. But there have been some areas where people have struggled. We ask you to look at doing a SWOT analysis. And a SWOT analysis is a business planning tool that's used to understand what your strengths, weaknesses are internally, and also consider opportunities and threats, and they are external. Now, when we do this in a business, we look at the internal aspects of the business or the organization, how it works. Externally, we think about the opportunities that this business has, or the threats that it may face, the risks it may face. And we want you to look at this for yourself and consider this hopefully in two areas. One, when it comes to your career, what you want to do professionally. The other aspect relates to your personality and personal area, sorry. Let me share mine as an example for you, and I'll share both areas so you can get a look at it. First of all, my career area and thinking about what I do in my job, build on my strengths. I've got stable employment in a really interesting industry, which is agriculture, by the way. And so there's some opportunities there to build from that. And I really should look to build on that. I've got loads of different skills now, worked in this industry for 20 years. So I've got a lot of different realm of things that I can do, and I should continue to look at building those strengths. I've got a great level of autonomy in my role. I'm filming this now because it works for me. And I'm able to use that autonomy really well. A couple of my weaknesses, time management is one of the things that I can continue to work on. How do I fit everything into the day, and how do I prioritize as a result? I'm the only person in our business who does what I do. So if I get crook, or if I'm feeling lonely, or I don't know what to do, that there's some real weaknesses there for me. The other thing is working from home, and that can really produce some challenges from a motivational perspective, but it also can be really great because I can get a lot of stuff done without being interrupted. Take advantage of opportunities. So I want to address these weaknesses. I want to build on my strength. take advantage of opportunities. So some of them for me, and these are external, remember. So there's plenty of different industries that I'm not working in at the moment. Do hardly any work in horticulture, cotton, sugar, do nothing in those sort of sectors. Is there an opportunity for there professionally that I can build on? Got great sources available to me across the nation, including you guys. So how do I tap into the resources as need be and make sure that they're useful? There's also opportunities to develop skills in other areas. So around livestock production, business advice, finance advice, beyond the people stuff that I do. So there's some opportunities for me to grow there. There's also some risks. Things like this that I'm doing now, industry programs around leadership and capacity building might be withdrawn. So I've got to be careful in terms of the funding of those can really go away and I'll be in trouble. And the thing is that there's other people who do what I do and they probably do it better than me. So I've got to make sure that I manage that by keep growing my skills and beings and growing to make sure what I'm doing is relevant. On a personal level, my strengths. I'm a really great dad. I think I am. My kids tell me I am. They're not standing in the corner with a gun to their head. They're fine. I've got a really supportive and amazing wife who gives me encouragement in the work I'm doing, which is great. I've got great friends across a variety of careers, skill bases and networks, and so I should really tap into them as well, see if I can learn from them as part of this, as part of my life. Weaknesses. I really struggle with balance. There's a lot of work and there hasn't been enough personal pursuits, but I'm starting to address that now. I've done a lot of creative stuff musically, as I mentioned before, and writing. The creative energy is low at times, and so I've got to learn to build on that and input some intentional time into that. And I don't prioritize really well at times. That's something I've got to address personally. Take advantage of some opportunities. So get involved with extracurricular activities, particularly around the things my kids do. This is something I worked on some years ago and am doing, have done so with my son and my daughter over time. So that's something I've done and will continue to want to do that as they get older. Take on more community board roles. I used to do this quite a lot and withdrew from then once the kids were getting to an age where they need a lot of time. But there's always an opportunity for me to get involved with more community-based boards, get involved with my community. Also look at other passive income stream options through creative stuff that I can do. So that's through writing or music or whatever. So there's some opportunities I could do that. Threats or some I've got to reduce or minimise. First of all is my wife, Danny, her workload impacting our relationship, time together. She runs her own business. So there's some real challenges there around how we get time together. So we've got to be really intentional about that. And the other thing is that's a real possibility with the level of work that I'm doing and want to do. And so that's something that I've got to manage as well. There's some ideas for you to consider. Yours will probably look very different to mine, and that's okay. The reality is there's no right or wrong answer to this. I'm just sharing mine with you, hopefully give you some ideas around things that are really relevant to you. Have a go at these activities, the My Preferred Future, work through the workbook. It asks you to address the skills, do this SWOT analysis, understand some of the goals you have, and then we can understand what we want to get out of a mentoring relationship. And that's what we will discuss when we meet online next week. If you have any questions in the meantime, please reach out to me, phone, email, text, whatever works for you guys. I look forward to working with you again as we ramp up the mentoring process. Cheers.